In today's video, I'll run through my experience entering Mexico in 2022, the new restrictions for foreigners, and how you can best set yourself up to get the full length of stay that you're hoping for. My original plan was just to show up at the airport in Cancun, fill out the FMM and the declaration form, and then proceed to spend a few months riding out the pandemic and the rest of the Canadian winter in Mexico. If only it was that simple. The couple that was in front of me at the immigration lineup at the Cancun airport did exactly that. They arrived, they filled out their forms as they're supposed to, and were expecting to get a 180-day or a 6-month stay in Mexico. Their intended 6-month stay quickly turned into 20 days when that was all that they got from the immigration officer. Mexico has been known for having very few restrictions through the pandemic and continued to offer visa-free travel for many nationalities, giving them up to 180 days in the country. Both the FMM and the declaration form are provided to you on the airplane or at the airport when you land in Mexico. So it's very easy to just arrive, get these forms on arrival, fill them out, and then enter the country. You also don't need proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test or even a flight indicating when you will leave the country. Many foreigners have historically taken advantage of the relaxed entry requirements and then will stay there 180 days, do a quick border run, and get another 180 days on their return. Well, unfortunately, this is no longer the case. There have been no new hard and fast rules announced, and it almost seems like it depends on the immigration officer that you personally deal with to determine how many days you'll be allowed to stay in Mexico. The specific questions that I was asked included: how many days will I be in Mexico? What will I be doing while I'm here? Where will I be staying? And do I have a ticket to exit the country? Here are all of the forms that I brought with me to back up all of my answers. And if I was doing it again, I would have organized these with more than just a staple in the corner. Get a binder. Within this stack of papers, I have a pre-filled out FMM form, because you can do it online in advance, my proof of accommodations, proof of exit with a flight out of Mexico, an invitation from the company that I work for, my proof of income, and then also my full vaccination receipt. The crazy thing is that I thought preparing all of this was going to be absolute overkill, but it turns out that I needed all of it. So as I mentioned, I filled out the FMM online before arriving in Mexico and had a printed out version with me. FMM stands for Forma Migratoria Multiple, and it is the form that allows many nationalities, including Canadians and Americans, to cross the Mexican border without a visa and allows us to stay in the country for up to 180 days. If you do it online in advance, make sure that you look out for scams, and I'll link to the official government website to fill out this form in advance in the description below. You may also find other scams saying things that you need stuff like a health declaration form pre-filled in order to enter Mexico. At the time of filming this video, you do not need a health declaration form, and if you did need one, you probably wouldn't need to pay for it. I actually filled out all the information on one website. It looked so legitimate, and it was a scam. There are many of these. Do not pay for any health declaration forms or for your FMM. You will also need to fill a customs declaration form on arrival. This is also free, and it is provided for you when you land at the airport. The trouble is that it is only available to you in Spanish. So if you are not fluent, and I certainly am not, you will want to look up this form in advance so you can find an English version of it online. I'll link to one that I found in the description. You may also want to download Google Translate on your phone and have it available offline to translate from English to Spanish. I feel like I was trying to remember so many things to arrive at the airport that I actually forgot to do both of these things, and I couldn't connect to the internet before passing through immigration. Don't make the same mistakes as me, but if you do, you can probably do what I did and look around for someone else that is filling it out and clearly knows what they're doing and see if they can help you out with some of the translation. So in addition to my FMM, my passport, and this declarations form, the immigration officer also asked to see my proof of accommodations for the entire length of my stay. A great place to start if you're looking for accommodations in Mexico would be heading to Top Cashback and checking out some of their partner websites. My personal favorite is their offer for cash back on reservations made through their partner Booking.com. Booking.com has a huge inventory of hotels and apartments, and by going through Top Cashback to navigate to Booking.com, you will get up to 7% cash back on your stay. I've partnered with Top Cashback on this video to offer you a sign-up bonus when you spend your first $25 using Top Cashback with the link in the description before February 28th, 2022. And then wherever you decide to make your booking for your accommodations, just make sure that you have the proof with you. This time I ended up actually working with an agent to help find an apartment. I ended up paying a small deposit in advance before arriving, and then I asked my agent for proof of the lease with their signature on it and the landlord's signature, indicating that I would be here until mid-April. Let me know down in the comments if you're interested in learning a little bit more about how I found my apartment here in Playa del Carmen prior to arriving in the city. The next thing that I was asked to show the immigration officer was my flight exiting Mexico. If you don't have set travel plans and don't know when you will be exiting the country, you can go onto a site like Onward Ticket where you can book a fully legitimate airline ticket out of the country that's valid for 48 hours. You could also purchase a fully refundable airline ticket and then just refund it once you've actually made it into Mexico. Or alternatively, I know some people that will book a throwaway bus ticket out of the country. I personally wouldn't take this risk as proof of exit of any country, because I know there have been many problems with people that don't have flights out of the country and plan to exit via a land border. When they asked what I would be doing in Mexico, I said it was mostly for tourism, that I wanted to learn Spanish, and then also that the company I work for is having a small gathering at the end of March. And I had an invitation letter from my company proving that this gathering was happening, and another reason why I wanted to stay several months. And to sum it up, after all of this, I still didn't get the 180 days, but I did get exactly what I asked for, which is the exact amount of time between when I arrived in Mexico to when I had the flight booked out for May 1st. 105 days. At this point, I thought I was in the clear. I proceeded past immigration, through the baggage claim, and went to exit the airport, at which point I was randomly selected. As you go to exit, you have to press this button, and then a light is going to come up, and it's either going to be green or red. Green means you can proceed and leave. Red means that all of your belongings are going to be inspected and you may be subject to additional questioning. And of course, it turned red for me, so I was moved to the side where a different officer went through all of my belongings and asked me some questions, including proof of funds. So I'm pretty glad that I did my overkill preparation and had that ready to go as well. So my advice to you, if you plan on entering Mexico at some point and hope to stay longer than a standard 10-day beach vacation, have proof of everything and be ready to show it. You can have this proof just on your phone, but I found it much easier to have paper copies to show the immigration officer as opposed to pulling up files on my phone and then passing it back and forth every time they ask to see something else. Also keep in mind that you may not be able to connect to the internet before you go through immigration. This means that you don't want to be relying on your phone for things like translation or to access documents or to access information such as the hotel address that you'll be staying at. And if you have recently entered Mexico, perhaps consider sharing your experience down in the comments for others to learn from as well. Don't forget about that Top Cashback link in the description to get a sign-up bonus on your first purchase of $25 or more. And then, thank you for watching. Safe travels. I will see you back here again soon. Bye. I have a feeling it's going to be slightly difficult to film here. There's construction and cars and the dogs just keep barking and it's getting slightly hot. But if I turn the AC on, ooh, background noise, not good.